Hey there, Sugar Plums, it's Sugar Daddies. Harry's just finishing putting on his pants, so he couldn't do the intro this time.
Yeah. Look, I'm busy, man.
What? Anyway, so yesterday when we were hanging out playing board games, you asked me a question. I figured now is as good a time as any to give you a bit of a better answer.
Yes.
How you wanted to know a good way to start GMing for tabletop board games. I mean, tabletop RPGs.
Because we play in a group pretty much every week.
Yeah.
And I was interested in GMing.
Yeah. So I gave you like a little bit of a rundown of it last night.
Yeah, something about, you put your story semen in your story boat, and then you
my story semen in my story boat. That's one interpretation.
That's what you said, right?
That is exactly what I said. To a T. Okay, so I've given this little thought throughout the day to kind of give you like a decent answer to this. First thing I would say...
Think I can get over there?
No, there's like a better jump at one point. You need to get the double jump, man. Like, that's a video game ability I wish I had. The double jump. I wouldn't even use it for much, but damn, would it be fun.
Right? I just want to really freak people out.
Yeah. Hey, look what I can do. Ah! It is against God's will. Yeah, but I can always slam dunk. It's really cool.
Wow! I have no health. Holy
no, you
crap.
had no health. I wasn't paying attention.
I'm just getting my butt whooped.
Alright, so and you have no lives left either.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, we'll just buy another like life or something.
Select.
So anyway, first thing I would recommend is that whatever system you're going to be running in, get to know it at least on a functional level.
Okay.
Like if you're gonna run, like you were talking about running Fellowship, which is, a very story-based game.
Yeah.
Get to know.
Well, I mean, do I have to know that system that well? Because it's a world system, right?
It is a world system. The thing is you are going to want to know for two reasons. One, you're going to want to know how to at least run it on a cursory level, so that way you don't have to stop in the middle of something to have to go, like, look up a rule or have to change up the happening game because of an action that technically cannot happen and can really skew the results of what's going to happen in the rest of the game. And sometimes that does become critical. Like, that's no joke. Nice spear toss.
Thanks. I was like, what item would be useful here?
But, like, also because some of your players are going to know this system pretty well, so they're going to be trying to use it. They're going to use everything at their advantage. If they have an excellent baking skill, while baking may never become an important part of the game, they will bake at least once just because they have the ability to. And then you're going to have the people who have no goddamn clue what they can and cannot do.
Okay.
And are just going to want to, like... They're going to need you to hold their hand, like, the entire time.
Yeah, so I need to know the system so I can, like, either... Oh, shit, it's always 3. Oh, I'm going to die.
Yeah, it's always 3. And, you're fine. You ate chicken that you found in the middle of a tree.
It's cool.
In a pirate chest. But, yeah. He's going to... Yeah,
That'll show him.
Yeah. Hadouken. Alright, so that's the first thing. Yeah, you're going to want to know the system, at least at a cursory level, because it'll be chaos if you don't. You're more than welcome to kind of, like, ignore or change some of the rules up after that. Like, I used to do that all the time. Like, Traveler has, like, a really, like, weird and complicated combat system at times that I just got sick of, where it's like every time you shoot the gun, you have to readjust yourself to be ready to do it. Like, you couldn't shoot the gun twice in a row. I'm like, or fuck that.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah, like, you can't help it. You just do it every once in a while.
What's up, bro?
Buy Zoop.
I don't really need it.
Alright, well, buy the other stuff then. You're gonna need that.
There you go.
So that's the first thing. The second thing, if you're gonna play a game where you're gonna have a bit of a story set up at the beginning, then you're gonna want to keep that as simple and succinct as you can make it. Like, I've run a lot of games where I've come up with my own setting or very specific story start. Only once have I gone over a page that I've written out.
Okay.
So, like, if you want to do something like, let's say, like, you're setting it in Dungeons & Dragons, your premise is that there's a plague going around that no one has any idea how to cure or can't be cured magically. No one knows why.
Okay.
But it's becoming, it's becoming a real epidemic.
Gotcha.
And whomever's in charge is like, anyone brings me a cure, and the rewards will be riches of untold and lands and all the other stuff you get from fantasy novels.
Right.
You get to bang my daughter and or son, depending on your sexuality.
Or neither, if you're asexual.
Yeah, or neither if you fuck the dog. If you save the kingdom, no one's gonna judge.
This is your voice.
Tiny bug, go back to the pit where you belong.
Arn, who commands?
Humph! Can't recognize you when you're in clear disadvantage? How stupid! I'm Albie, General of the Dark Hand Army and Annihilator of insolent fools, such as you! Oh snap! Alright, so since you're concentrating on this boss, I'm gonna continue to, drop very important information on you.
That's good.
So yeah, that's 4 strikes. Alright, so... But yeah, like, there you go. There's your setup, is that you got a plague, no cure, and it can't be cured by the
Wow.
Yeah.
She wrecked me!
Well, alright, Connor. I just watched Highlander, and this is, like, almost directly taken from it. Where it's like he's got the sword in the ground.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, the double jump will get you, like, up there and shit.
Go through all this again. Alright.
Alright, so yeah, there's your setup. Now that's enough to kind of, like, let your players have a bit of a head start. You can then go and, like, they'll go, like, okay, I want to talk to, like, a cleric to find out what they know about why this is incurable. I want to talk to, like, an alchemist to find out, like, what they've tried to do. Like, you then dole out information incrementally. For depending on how the players decide to go about things.
Okay, so, like, they can't really screw up your plan.
See, if you keep
They just think they can.
See, that's the thing is if your players aren't immature assholes, then you're fine. Like, they'll just go like, okay, we want to find this cure, and we get agency in how we can go about doing it.
I open the Eye of Odin opens.
Yeah.
16 titties fall out.
Exactly. And it's like, guess what? Titties are now the cure for this plague. That's how you do it.
Okay.
But no, you know what? Like, oh god, I love that skit. We're
Yeah.
gonna talk about that skit at some point, but not now. But yeah, so that's your first thing, is like, simple setup. It gives your players all the information they need. It gives them a direction, so on and so forth, and that's all they need to start. And then you give them like a location or two to kind of like get them like started. Like, oh, you could talk to the Mages Guild, you could talk to the Alchemist, there's an old woman who's...
Okay, so you feed them information to, like, do what you want.
Yeah, you feed them a little bit of information, but then you let them kind of, like, go off and figure stuff out on your own, because they could come up with something really good by themselves, where it's like, yeah, no, that sounds awesome, like, yeah, you gotta go find the Rheingold. The Rheingold is the only thing that will actually solve this particular...
Ah, frick!
It's okay, it happens. No one's judging, movie.
I am. This is ridiculous.
There you go, get your magic laughing skull money. Oh, I want that now. That sounds kind of cool. So, okay. So after that, everything else that you want to put into the game is just very simple story beats. Like,
beats?
Story beats is in, like, not full-fledged plot points necessarily, but just, like, little increments of the story that are necessary for things to progress. Like, if your plan, once again, is a plague, let's say that you have a group of villains that started the plague.
Okay.
So what you do is you basically decide, like, okay, once the characters get to, like, the 3rd location, wherever they go, that's when they're gonna find out that this was not a natural plague, but something that somebody created.
So so it doesn't really matter where they end up going.
Yeah.
I get my plot out of it that I want.
Exactly. Like, you basically kind of build everything organically. They're like, we're pretty sure it's the orcs, 100% the orcs. Now, you could have a story in mind where it's like, no, it's the Council of Three. Like, the 3 disposed leaders of the old kingdom or something like that.
Yeah, but, oh well, it's orcs.
Or, no, you can...
Or not.
Or you can do it both ways, where it's like, the orcs are the ones that could tell you that it is actually the Council of Three, as opposed to, like, everything else. Like, you can get what you want out of the story. It's just that you don't have to plan everything. You just let it kind of grow out of what you're doing. I don't think you're gonna survive by doing this.
I'd say no.
So yeah, you're gonna die quickly. You're running out of air. God, I wish the Sonic music would just start playing.
I know, we said that the first time.
I know, but every time. But yeah, no, that's what the story beat is. It's like, Council of Three did it. Well, now, because the characters keep messing around with the orcs, now you find out from the orcs that it was the Council of Three.
Okay.
And then, like, the next story beat is, like, how they did it, and that can lead to how to cure it, and so on and so forth, or them actively trying to stop the heroes. So, like, that's kind of, like, how that goes. Like, for instance, with, with Fellowship, the GM specifically plays the villain, so he has Overlord moves. So, so having a definitive, like, yeah, no, this is, now the plague is going around, and it's from the Overlord, totally makes sense.
Okay.
And then the rest of it is that I would say, depending on what you're running, is keeping what's going on in theme.
Nothing was that way.
Huh?
There was nothing that way.
Oh, okay. So, like, if you're running, like, for instance, it's easier when you're running in something in a specific genre. Like, if you're running like a mafioso kind of story, like, game, then it's gonna be like, you're gonna be fighting mobsters, you're gonna be fighting cops, like, you're gonna be searching for clues and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it's basically keep to the conventions, but you can build a story and an interesting experience on that. Like, go back to our plague thing, you know, all the opposition in the story should have a motivation. So, for instance, if it's, why are the goblins attacking you? Well, the goblins are really desperate for any kind of medicine because they've been hit by the plague too. So they're stealing all the potions off of you. And as soon as they get them, they plan on running. So they're not just going to stand around and, like, wait for you to eventually off them. They're going to try to grab your stuff and then leave. That's what their goal is. So that's one of your random encounters, is them doing that. The next group can just be, you know, this is just one of the actual creatures that's affected by the plague, and it's just gone absolutely batshit crazy because of the effects of it. And now it's trying to kill you because that's what it does. It's like, well, alright, you know. You still have a sense of, like, why this plague is so bad. The characters are interacting and potentially gaining new information based on it. Or making up shit that you can then go, oh, yes, yeah, no, that was my plan all along.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of lying. You're going to be lying to the players constantly, where they're going to go, like, I had a time, it was like 2-3 years ago, when I was running a mystery, fake wall, where I was running a mystery, and it was like Kat and Alex were trying to puzzle out what was going on, and they came up with a solution that was 100% not what I had come up with, but so much better. Like, they had made little connections that I had, and they're like, wow, Justin, that's really good. Is that what's going on? And I was like, yes, you
absolutely what was going on.
That you puzzled it out, you fine adventurers, you.
Fantastic. All right, you know what? That was very interesting. Thank you for the insight into how to GM.
Yeah. So now that I know you've totally absorbed all of 3 words of that.
Yeah.
GM theme plague. Yes.
Yes. That's about enough time for today. And on the next episode, I will give another crack at this boss. And hopefully I don't die on the way there and completely ruin the setup. If you enjoyed this as much as we did, you know, drop us a like. It really helps us out. And we'll see you next time.
See you next time, folks.